So Jesus was talking to the people, and there were so many people there that his family, when they came to see him, they couldn't get near him. And they were worried about him. They thought he was just going a bit too far. So they said, "Here are your family, your mother and your brothers. We're outside. Come and we want to talk to you." And he said to them, "Anybody who does what God wants is my mother and my sister and my brother." What do you think he meant? So anybody here have a sister or a brother? Where's your sister or your brother? They're not here. Okay. Where's your brother? He's right there. Okay. So you know who he is because you live with him, right? Yeah. You're at home together. Who else has a sister or brother here? Yeah. There's your sister. Yeah. And you're the brother. Okay. So do you have any other brothers here, Dennis? No. So what Jesus is saying is that anybody who does what God wants is your brother. So then if you look around the church, how many brothers do you think you would have? Well, I don't know if these people are doing what God wants or not, so it's kind of hard to tell. What is it that God wants? What does God want? Yeah.
To make people happy.
God wants to make people happy, and how do we make people happy? Well, how do you make your brother happy? You love him. Great. So anybody who is showing love is doing what God wants, and that person is like my sister or my mother or my brother. That's what Jesus said. Yeah. Because sometimes it's not enough just to have the brother you grew up with. Sometimes we need more brothers than that. I was sharing a hotel room with my brother a couple of weeks ago at a family wedding. He came from Holland, I came from the States, we met in British Columbia. And we hadn't shared a room for about 50 years. So it was interesting. It was lucky that I was there because he's having really serious problems with his legs swelling, so he's wearing compression socks. And there's such serious compression socks that he couldn't take them off at night. So luckily I was his brother and I was there. I could help him take his socks off. That's what brothers do, right? So he travels a lot though, mostly without me. So what do you think he does when I'm not there to help him take his socks off when he's traveling? He finds some random stranger and says, "Will you please take my socks off for me?" Now, usually the night clerk at the hotel. So then that person behaves like a brother to him, right? Which is lucky, otherwise he would have lots of problems with his legs. So we need brothers and mothers and sisters in the world. We need people to love us outside our family. And that's true of Jackson. Jackson, you're going to need lots of people to love you as you grew up in the world. And you've got a great start. But their job is to help you see everybody as potentially your sister or your mother or your brother. So that as we live together on this planet, we get to live in one human family. Because if we learn to see each other as enemies or competitors, life will not be good for us or for any living thing on the planet. And this is urgent, because there are so many forces instructing us to look with caution and even hostility on people outside our own immediate circle. But we are created as sisters and brothers. So it's your job to love one another. And your job to learn to see everybody as God's child, even when they don't know that themselves. You see it. Because that's what Jesus did. So in a little while, I'll be asking you if you will help to raise Jackson to know God's love. And hopefully you will say, we will. And then hopefully you will do it in the months and years ahead. Okay, well thanks for coming up front. You can stay here because you have a good seat for the baptism which is coming up. If you want to stay here, you can.